Am I the asshole for not letting my husband meet our firstborn child? My husband has this best friend, Anna. They've been friends for a long time and dated years ago, mutually deciding that it's best for them to remain friends. I've had no problem with this relationship, until now. On the day that I gave birth, Anna's brother got into a car accident. My husband got a call from her in the middle of the night, and asked him if he could drop her at the hospital her brother was at, an hour away from us, since she was too scared to drive. My husband agreed, told me quickly while I was half asleep, and rushed out. A few hours later, I had contractions and called my husband. He didn't pick up after multiple tries, so I gave up and called my dad, who drove me to the local hospital, 12 minutes away. I was so scared of giving birth alone, since I've had about 3 miscarriages and 1 stillborn. My husband promised me that no matter what, he'd be there for me. Guess what? He wasn't. We called multiple times while I was in labor, and when he finally picked up my dad's call when I was giving birth, saying that he'd misplaced his phone in the chaos, my dad informed him that no matter how fast he drives anymore, he's going to miss the birth of his child. Well, my husband took that as, he's already screwed up, so it doesn't matter when he shows up at this point. So when he finally came, our daughter was about 5 hours old, and I'd already moved to the maternity ward. When he came, I refused to let him see our baby. Edit. I did let husband hold and play with baby after discharge, because I was so high on emotions, and was shaking when I saw him, and didn't want it to negatively affect my time with the baby. I wanted her birth to be a happy time, and I was already struggling to feed her. My husband was in a bad state, and told me to please let him see her, so I told him to stand by the window, and held the baby up so he could see her. I told him to then leave, and he'll be allowed to interact with the baby at my father's home, when we're both well and out of the hospital, and that I was most likely divorcing him. He started bawling and apologizing, and defended himself, by saying that Anna's brother was in serious critical condition, and although he's fine, Anna needed him. Though Anna's parents were there, she's not that close with them, and she was in an unbearable state. I told him that I didn't care, and that his daughter has already come second to him, and all she did was be born. I'm putting my daughters and my health first, and won't let her be sidelined. My husband agreed and left. However, Anna called me later, and said that I was being controlling, and she'd never met someone as cruel as me, for not letting a father see his baby. I told her that my husband made his decision, and that this was his doing, not mine. But now, I can't help feel cruel in my actions, and feel like I'm depriving my baby of both her parents being together. My husband sees her a few hours each day now. Am I the asshole? Edit. I feel like this is useful information, and could explain why I was so mad. Anna's brother was not in a life or death situation. He had serious injuries, but most were concentrated on his legs and arm. He did have a concussion, but gained consciousness soon. Anna was there, along with both her parents, who managed all the hospital stuff. My husband was there as an emotional support for Anna. I did let my husband see our baby, right after I got discharged. Edit. Husband saw baby. Husband held baby. Husband played with baby. I wanted a couple days of rest and bonding with the baby, since my emotions were so high, and I was afraid if my husband was a continuous presence, I'd get stressed and something bad would happen. I told him as such. They spend time together, but I'm still cold with him. I may still be the asshole, I don't know, but I'm still so mad at him, and it's not the first time he put Anna before me. I can forgive the other times, since I could handle it, but this time was the straw. I was so scared to hold my baby, because I was paranoid the minute I touch her, something would happen to her, and no one was there to comfort me. I only had my dad, but he wasn't in the delivery room, which is why I'm not too keen on forgiving my husband. Also, we both knew the baby was due any time now, so I don't understand why my husband didn't have his phone on him. We even tried reaching out to Anna, and she didn't pick up either. After he learned I was giving birth, they already knew that Anna's brother was going to be all right. He spent that time making sure that Anna was okay, and feeding her, and then waiting for the brother to regain consciousness. He could have come back after seeing his daughter to talk with the brother. He would have made it back in time. Edit. So many of you got it wrong. I'm not preventing him from ever seeing his baby, that is stupid and unreasonable. He literally saw her about a day later, when we were discharged and safely at my dad's home. He already didn't see her for 5 hours on purpose, and put Anna first. I didn't think an additional day would make much of a difference. And it wasn't to him. He was happy to see the baby, and he spends time with her all the time. She's 2 months now. And also, I'm not mad about the fact he went to see Anna. I'm mad that he didn't think we were a high priority to rush back to. He left me so quickly in the middle of the night, when I was already late. He couldn't have left Anna in the care of her parents and rushed as soon as possible? She's not a child, and she doesn't have any mental health issues either. Update. I think that I was an asshole for using my child against him, and should have told him that he could hold her and then asked him to leave. So the divorce is probably going to happen. My brother is looking at lawyers for me. In the midst of this whole mess, this post made me realize I never checked on Anna's brother to see how he's healing, because I was so irked by Anna. I called him, and he said that he was doing well and will be out of his wheelchair soon. He asked about me and the baby, and how I was doing with the split, and if I was okay with my husband and Anna. I can't believe I was so oblivious. I thought they had an emotional thing going on because of this, and when I confronted my husband, he denied it, and said me and our baby were his priority, and he made a mistake and he was being dumb. Yeah, no, Anna's brother kindly informed me that he and Anna's parents thought that my husband and I split when I was 7 months pregnant, and that Anna and him were back on. He showed up at the hospital as Anna's boyfriend, which is why they didn't bat an eye that he was there, and not with his pregnant wife. Because apparently we split. Her brother's procedures were done well before the afternoon, so I don't know what my husband and Anna were doing for all those hours, but I don't even want to know. I will be moving back home and filing for full custody. I don't want my baby growing up to be like her father, or Anna. He can be a fun dad, or whatever it is he wants to be. Comment 1. His wife has multiple miscarriages and a stillbirth, and he still decides to have an affair and miss his child's birth. And his affair partner decided to call his wife, and complain about how mean the wife is to her poor misunderstood spouse? Comment 2. Life 101. Anyone who emotionally relies on your spouse that much is bad news. Rushing out in the middle of the night with barely a bye. Bad news. Anyone who thinks you're being the big meanie, when they're the one who was unreachable for literally no reason, is bad news. Poor woman. I hope she finds someone who rocks her world one day, and shows her what love actually is, 'cause this asswipe sure didn't. Comment 3. To think that he didn't check if his child wasn't a stillborn for 5 hours, is the most insane part. This person does not care about anything other than his own pleasure. I'm adding to the list of people whose grave deserve to be pissed on. I'ma have to drink a lot, 'cause that list is getting longer with each post.